the heck? Dragon? Mech? Okay.
Easy to take a quick look at Crimson Desert and assume it's another fantasy action game where you hack and slash your way through enemies with
Swords?
presses of the attack button.
Okay.
And if you equip your protagonist, Cliff, with a sword, you can certainly do that. But tap 2 of your controller's face buttons together and he'll lunge, thrusting the blade directly forward. If you then press both the light
Fair enough.
buttons at the same time, he'll transition into a powerful, magic-infused overhead slam, bringing his sword down in an arc of dizzying particle effects. There's more than one way to swing a sword, basically, and that applies to everything in your combat arsenal.
The game kind of looks clunky. It kind of looks clunky right now in this, and I don't know how it would work on a keyboard scheme.
Swing a bow into a dodge roll, and you'll trigger a brief window of medieval.
Oh, damn.
Perfect for scoring a headshot. Cast a spell at the apex of
Boss fights? All right, all right.
yourself into the air, riding the energy of the magic's blast.
What?
In perhaps the most entertaining example, hold 2 face buttons in conjunction with shifting the direction of the left analog stick to unleash a variety of increasingly amusing wrestling moves. From simple grapple
Wrestling moves? Oh my god, there is so many mechanics in this game.
For this month's IGN First, we spoke to the design team at Crimson Desert developer Pearl Abyss to learn how they crafted this deep, multi-layered combat system. The very first thing they said was both surprising and helped contextualize.
They said everything.
The key inspirations for Crimson Desert's combat was retro arcade games like Samurai Shodown, Final Fight, and King of Fighters.
I never played any of those.
Multi-button combos and link moves make much more sense. But those fighting game combos aren't
I don't know if I care for the locking system right now, how the locking system is on the characters, because it still gives you that wide view of what's going on around you. I could just be making a comparison to Where Winds Meet right now because the focus shifts in on one single person. It's like so close the FOV isn't really way out. It's maybe something you can tweak in settings on this game, but this looks sick so far. And the Cursed Knight as a boss, this looks sick.
both inflicted and received.
It looks difficult.
They wanted to capture. That's clear not just in the visuals, but in the crunchy audio.
That's crunchy.
The sound design team directly references Capcom as an inspiration, but across the 10 different boss battles,
10 boss battles?
in the open world, it's clear that there's more to it than that.
Yo,
There's too many different moves that can be changed.
I like that so far.
Approaches and strategies. Open world games, on the other hand, typically have a much more restrained moveset. A dodge, an attack, and a counter, for instance.
Yeah, that's true.
Being a fantasy open world game itself, Crimson Desert's long list of combat moves seems to be gunning for the breadth of options that fighting.
I wonder if this is going to be a weird comparison, but like Ball Pit, we can combine a multitude of things and make different variations of stuff. I would like to see that in something like this. You can kind of mix and match. I don't know if that's what it's got yet, look like that, but so far I'm seeing the very basic elemental fire, some sort of magic or electricity.
Cliff's ever-expanding ability tree means there's a multitude of ways to approach any fight. It's not
Lightning.
just ranged versus melee, but the more minute choices within those options. Will you weave kicks and suplexes in
Throwing people at people.
channel lightning down your blade? Use whistling arrows to summon.
Arrows, sick. Artillery strikes, that's pretty cool.
Takeaway here is that Pearl Abyss refuses to provide any real
Whoa.
definition for Crimson Desert's combat system. Unlike something like Batman Arkham, there's no rhythm or pattern to follow. The combat team told me that they
Why do you-
interesting create
Why'd they make a comparison to
something like Batman Arkham. There's
Batman Arkham?
no rhythm or pattern to
I
follow.
would not have made that comparison at all.
Had no interest
Just even mentioned it.
in the game. We have to respond to on-screen prompts by pressing specific buttons. The kind of
Okay, well, that might help me.
Mad Max, Shadow of
I'm not good at Souls-like at all, and this looks like it could be dodge roll and then a whole bunch of extra mechanics that they're throwing in on top of that. And Where Winds Meet with the Souls-like fights and boss battles, I kind of rely on the quick time event button display because I'd have to really time it. It would probably be nice if they started out with that in this game, having that, getting you used to recognizing certain swings or certain attack patterns, and then just letting you go away from that, take the training wheels off. Not having it at all kind of seems a bit rough for me specifically.
games. Instead, the studio aims to fulfill a player's fantasies by allowing them to do whatever they want in any situation. That
That's sick.
Crimson Desert's approach to battle a bit loose, and for some, the distinct lack of rules or rhythm may be frustrating. There are no hard counters for particular enemies, for instance, nor any kind of strict rock, paper, scissors.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, interesting.
A particular weapon may be stronger against shielded enemies, for instance, but there's no requirement for you to use it. The same applies to bosses.
If you're only able to min-max certain weapon characteristics rather than combinations that are proven to hurt the enemy because it doesn't have, they said, no rock, paper, scissors value to this, that might throw some people through a loop. That might throw me through a loop. I'm kind of liking the Souls-like style of games right now, or the MMO style of games. I haven't ventured too far into that up until Where Winds Meet. So I don't know how I, or if I would enjoy this. I like the ideas of the creativity, but having so much freedom leaves you with kind of option paralysis of what do I do, unless you find something early on this that you really wanted to hone in on, develop your own play style. But other than that, the lack of bumpers might also prove to be an issue. So that does make it a little bit more interesting to see how this game would pan out after release in a couple of play tests, because everybody loves to make a guide about something, and this seems to not have any blatantly obvious ways about going about that.
They have attack patterns that can be memorized and weaknesses that can be exploited. Polar Abyss has no interest in demanding you pay attention to that. The team believes that any method of attack should be valid. Well, within reason. You can't swing a monster by its ankles, of course.
Aww. Oh god. White horn. Scary, scary.
This, there if you want it, but no worries if you don't approach, extends out into the world itself.
Okay.
The black space engine that powers Crimson Desert is able to simulate elemental reactions. So water can either freeze or conduct electricity when
That's sick.
while wood will burn and smolder when set alight.
That's sick.
The modern Legend of Zelda games as inspiration for this, in which there's constant interaction between you.
Oh, okay. I like that. I like environmental damage. That's a big thing for me in games.
Rather than a core component of combat. For instance, there won't be a boss battle where you have to freeze water to hold your foe in place, or coax them into a metal grid you can then electrify with a
You can just do it.
He's not a wizard, and so his spells come courtesy of a bracelet that grants him simple mastery over
Okay.
ice and lightning. But new weapons and gear help expand his ability set further than the unlocks available on your skill tree.
Jason, you might have put me onto this, man.
Which opens up like a propeller and blasts enemies with bursts of wind like a deadly Airzuka, and a sword that summons an angry genie-like creature.
That's how do you even come up with that?
What do these options become? Cliff is able to ride a number of mounts, which in the early hours are simple horses with no remarkable talents. But head into the territory held by the Black Bears faction, and you'll be able to saddle up on a massive grizzly, which
Yeah, how open world does this get?
effectively thinning.
How much detail?
Variants. Fast forward a few hours and things become
Riding a
still.
bear.
A simple horse could be traded for a raptor. Yes,
A raptor?
back of a literal dinosaur. If you
Why is there dinosaurs in this game?
breathe fire, then Crimson Desert also has that covered too. Fantasy's most
Oh, you said there's dragons, right? Why is there dinosaurs?
later hours, you'll be able to command Tristar the Dragon, who will
Oh my god.
back and call. But that's not the wildest option. Dispelling any notion that this is a typical high fantasy video game,
This looks
you can
insane.
Yes.
Yeah, the mech. Why?
The dwarven engineered battle robot is a late game trick.
It's like Fallout mod. This is like a Fallout mod.
Daddy and a Titanfall mech had a baby, equipped with thrusters, machine guns, multi
I'm blown away by this.
and a wide radius EMP blast.
These guys do not know what hit him.
Enemies don't stand a chance. Fire
Not at all.
dragons and machine gun toting mechs could
Oh, wait. Immediate first thought whenever I see this. How destructible are we talking about for an environment? Because I take this dragon and essentially go burn down that bridge. And how often does that hold? Do people build back the bridge? That'd be cool. Can you not burn down the bridge because it's like a staple part of something and it's not what could be copy and paste versions of little guard fights or little enemy encounters? Could you ride the dragon into an enemy fortification and just burn it down? Yeah, it says fireball and fire breath as options.
They've been carefully plotted on the campaign's overall power curve. Pearl Abyss's combat team explained that such mounts are not designed to be simple tools that you can use whenever you want. And
Well, that'd be nice.
destructive devices drain a limited fuel gauge, which, when depleted, will
Lame.
put the machine out of action. This means you can't just use this modern marvel of technology in perpetuity. You won't be able to scroll up to a boss battle
Play however I want, sure.
stock of missiles. But when you are in the pilot's chair,
Damn.
there's no denying that things become more of a massacre than an even matchup.
Yeah. 15th century
This power spike
fighting versus the future.
present or a reward for players.
This looks really nice.
the game.
Just on that dragon, it looks so beautiful.
Wide range of combat options to say the least. And that brings us back to the fighting game comparison. Something like Street Fighter is arguably the inverse of Dark Souls. As in a From Software game, the true challenge is learning everything about your enemy and then attempting to exploit that. Whereas
Yeah.
in a fighting game, The challenge is to learn everything about your character and master their moveset.
See, that could be sick.
Street Fighter approach, and explains that the goal is for Crimson.
That looks, that's insane to see. A pillar,
The more you master Cliff's
just hit him with it.
said than done though. Like a fighting game, there's the sense that every one of Cliff's actions has an alternate version if you combine it with the right skill. This naturally creates depth, but also complexity. Dive in without any instruction, and it can feel quite overwhelming. In an attempt to keep things as
Yeah.
possible, Polybus has put a lot of focus on what each button does. The idea is that there's
That's gonna be hard for keyboard.
If you want to introduce an element into an action, you build on your existing knowledge of the controller. Clicking the thumbsticks, for instance, fires magic spells from your palms. Click the left stick to use your left palm.
Yeah, to see the hotkey selection on a keyboard would be interesting considering I play with an 80%. Combinations could be hard on keyboard.
Crimson Desert certainly looks like many other open world games, and that's not an unfair comparison. As we'll explore later in this
Ooh.
trilogy and first, there are plenty of genre staples here.
How beefy is that?
Action quests to bounty
Looks pretty beefy.
boards. In totality, this is not an unusual game, but zoom in on the combat and you'll find quite
Yeah, it's pretty detailed.
It's built atop the classic staples. There's still dodges and parries and regular attacks, but never before have I played a medieval fantasy game where I can change Spider-Man's swing into Batman's glide into a ground pound that's to
What the?
the Hedgehog doing his best.
Yo?
In short, it's safe to say that Crimson Desert is trying something different.
If they have really good scenery, I could get into this. I could get into this. If they do the scenery right, combat, I'm already pretty impressed. I gotta see when this comes out. I gotta put it on the wish list right now. What? Pre-purchase. Wow. You can pre-purchase for $70. $70 right now is a hell of an ask. It looks good, but you gotta really have the world flushed out to be doing a $70 ask right now. The state of the economy, that's for damn sure. It looks good in the stuff they put out, but God, I hope it is. It'll go to the wish list. No pre-purchase just yet, that's for sure. Let me know what you guys think. It seems stunning. They seem like there's a lot of detail to it. This could be worth a try. It'd probably be some good stream content. We can give it a go and see what happens. It looks sick.